So, good afternoon. I'm Karen Rowland. I am the lead member for Culture, Heritage, and Recreation. And today I've brought along Carolyn, who is our park's landscape architect, to talk to us about how you can create a wildflower patch right in your very own back garden. So my first question, I think, is going to be to Carolyn. What would you actually want to do if you want to introduce wildflowers into your own back garden?
So if someone wanted to recreate what you've done here, they could go about it the way that you did, which was by laying wildflower turf, which is a really good way to do it because you get such good establishment and you can just see how successful your own garden has been. The other way to do it is much cheaper, by buying wildflower seed, but sometimes establishment is less guaranteed. So I imagine what you did here, I imagine, was that you stripped out all the vegetation that was here before because you don't want anything in the ground, no vegetation. The really important thing for wildflowers is poor soil, because if there's too much competition from the grass, which gets fed by nutrients, then it tends to compete out the wildflowers. So you strip all the vegetation out, which you do either by lifting it by hand, if you want to do it organically, or some people will spray it all off and then remove the sprayed area. And then you rake it all. You don't want to dig too deep because then you get deep soils. And it's one tip to remember: if you want something to flower, try and make it just a little bit uncomfortable, not too much. But if a plant thinks that it might not survive, then it will go into reproductive mode and produce more flowers.
And that's the flowers?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you just rake it all so that it's nice and smooth and you've got a firm surface, so that when you roll out your turf carpet, all the roots are in contact with the soil because you don't want any air gaps. Or when you sow your seed, again, there's good contact with the soil. And then you must keep it damp for about 2 months. Just keep watering it. If it dries out, then you don't get good establishment.
No.
That's why it's a good idea to sow seed in the autumn or to lay turf in the autumn. Because in the spring, if you get the rain stopping early and it gets dry, then you won't get very good establishment. So you lay it all in the autumn, you get the winter rains, you get the initial root growth, and then it's all there waiting to go when the spring comes next year.